Hi chess masters, Coach Sipho here, and I'm back with another very important chess concept, and it is a lesson from the second world chess champion, the great Emanual Lasker. Emanuel Lasker's quote goes like, when you see a good move, look for a better one. Now, this one tip is what really separates very strong chess players from the rest of the field. Strong chess players, when they see a good move, they don't play it right away. And I'm sure you've seen this if you were following the World Chess Championship between Ding and Nepo. At some point, they had very, very obvious moves. Let's say the opponent just captured their piece, and it was obvious that they had to recapture the piece. But I'm sure you were bored. They did not recapture right away, even though they knew that they just need to recapture their piece, but they paused, they relaxed, they looked at all their options, and then after that, they recaptured the piece. Okay? So that is a habit of very strong chess players. In contrary, most of chess players, when they see a move that they think is the best move, they just play it right away without considering other options. I cannot tell you how many times, especially when I have when I'm dealing with my new students. Let's say I'm coaching a student for the first time, especially those who are very young. When they play, they don't even pause even for a second during our first few sessions. They just want to play. It's like it's difficult for them to contain their hand. Their hand is just want to go and make a move. It even led me to a point where I make them sit on their hands so that they don't just make moves right away. Okay? I make them sit on their hands. So as I always do, guys, I'm going to use 3 diagrams or 3 positions to demonstrate my point. After that, I'm going to give you a task so that you can apply what you've just learned. Okay? So without any more delays, let's dive into it. Position 1. In this position, it is white's turn, and most players, for example, they can see knight c7, fox the king, and the rook. So most players would play that move right away without even thinking. But instead of playing that move right away, you would pause, look for your other options, okay? And now, an attentive student might say, so what do you mean, Coach Sipho? Do you mean we should look at all options like h3, h5, g4, a3, b3, b4, and all of that? No, that is not what I mean. When I'm saying look at all your other options, I'm only referring to the forcing moves. To those who don't know what are the forcing moves are moves that force the opponent to react or to reply to your move in a way that will get them out of danger. Okay, so there are 3 types of forcing moves: a check, a capture, or a threat. When you threaten them, okay, it's obvious. When you check the opponent, they cannot do whatever they want. They are pretty much forced to move their king or do whatever to get out of check. Okay, so a check is the most forcing move. 2, a capture. When you capture a piece, the opponent in most cases is forced to capture back, otherwise they would be material down and most likely lose the game. So I guess you also understand why a capture is also a forcing move. A threat, let's say you attack the opponent's rook or a queen with a pawn. That's a threat. They need to respond to that threat accordingly. So when I'm saying consider all your options, I'm saying only look at all your checks, at all your captures, at all the threats. And usually during a game, there will be few checks, few captures, and few threats. Okay, maybe you will have a maximum of four moves if a position is very complicated to choose from. Okay, for example, in this position, white has a check. This is the check. Here is another check. Two checks only. Captures. Okay, other checks, other captures, you can see that they are not looking too good. Okay, so this is the capture that is reasonable. These are the checks. So 1, 2, 3. And then let's look at the threats. The threats, this is the threat attacking the queen since the knight is defended, since the bishop would be defended by the knight. So you see only 4 moves. 1, we only looked at checks, then we looked at captures, and then we looked at threats. 4 moves only. Okay, you only choose from 4 moves. Now, instead of making, yes, knight c7 appears to be good because it's a check. When the king gets out of check, you are going to win the rook. But remember the second world chess champions tip: when you see a good move, look for a better one. Looking at all these forcing moves, take, we're not benefiting anything. This check, it will only lead to an exchange. But bishop c7 wins a queen. Okay, bishop c7 wins a queen. So it is better to play bishop c7. The queen has nowhere to go, instead of playing knight c7. That is position number 1. So let's go to position number 2. Here is another example. In this position, it is black's turn. As you can see, black's rook is in danger. Black's rook is in danger. And that means black needs to save the rook. And black cannot just go anywhere, because let's say you just take, because you know after taking, you are going to be able to checkmate the opponent. The king cannot come here since the pawn is guarding that square. So you want to go there. If you can go there, it would be a checkmate. But then unfortunately you cannot go there right away, since the knight is going to capture you. And you see that your rook is in danger, so most players are likely to play rook take c3. But you can't do that, since white is threatening a checkmate here. White is threatening a checkmate. So most players would notice that their rook is in danger. So they would save their rook by coming here while preventing a checkmate. That looks to be a reasonable move. It appears to be a reasonable move, okay? But even though rook c8 appears to be a good move, you don't play it right away. You must first consider all your forcing moves first. Then if all of them don't work, you will humble yourself and play rook c8 to prevent the mate. So for example, in this position, we can see that you don't have to play rook c8. You can actually play queen there. If the knight takes, then you have a checkmate. Okay, so you saw a good move, but did you play it right away? No, you pause, look at your other forcing moves, other options. If all your options don't work, then you can go to your first move that you spotted at first, okay? But in this case, we notice that queen b1 is working because it removes the knight. It's a decoy, then check, and it is a checkmate. Now let's go to the last position. In this position, it is white's turn. White, let's look at the forcing moves. You can take that pawn is undefended. You can take, it's a forcing move, or you can make a threat. Okay, now you have to choose between all these three options. Okay, now most players would take that pawn without even thinking, but in this position white is actually winning a piece because that rook is undefended. Okay, so you just need to play your queen to this square, to d5. It would fork the king and the rook, but of course the queen cannot jump. So this move is better. It clears the file for the queen. This move, bishop takes knight, is better than bishop take the pawn. So this is the best. Opponent is almost forced to recapture. Now you fork the king and the rook. You will win a free rook. Okay, now I hope you've learned from this lesson. Now it's time to apply your newly acquired knowledge. In this position, what moves comes first to your mind? Okay, the first move that came first to my mind when I saw this position was a bishop bishop a3, h3. It skewers the king. Okay, it's a skewer. The king has to move and then you win the rook. That is the first move that came to my mind. But then, should we play that move right away? No, we just learned from the second world chess champion that when you see a good move, you don't play it right away. Let's look at other options. So you are going to look at other options. Consider all your checks, all your captures, all the threats. Just to give you a hint, it is a checkmate in 2 moves. And I was not even supposed to give you a hint. Just look at all your forcing moves. You will find the checkmate in 2. Okay? Let us know on the comment section. Thank you for watching this week's lesson. And as you know, this channel is committed to uploading at least 1 video per week. Help our channel grow by smashing that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so that you will be notified whenever we upload a video. And don't forget to click those thumbs up so that the video will be shared with more and more viewers, because that's how the algorithm works. Since my channel is still new, YouTube can only share it with very few people. Let's say only 1,000 people. But if you click those thumbs up, YouTube will share it with more and more and more people. Okay? So until next week, peace.